Hi there, this is Paul Thompson from Spitfire Audio. I'm going to show you today the new Frank Ricotti Mallets library, and this consists of 4 instruments: the marimba, glockenspiel, crotales and xylophone. Frank Ricotti has played on an incredible number of records and film scores including Inception, Skyfall, The Twilight Saga, Madagascar, Interstellar, Narnia, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Dark Knight, the Bourne series. It goes on. There isn't an hour in the day where somewhere in the world his playing is not being broadcast. So we're incredibly proud to have worked with him on this library. It's recorded in a slightly drier soundstage than we usually use, and so it has quite a lot of flexibility in terms of the sound. We'll start with the marimba. The marimba is a direct descendant of the xylophone. It has larger rosewood bars and resonators, so it has a deeper sound, quite a wide range. When you load up, the first thing that you see is the simple GUI. There are more options if you click on the spanner, but let's stick with the simple GUI for now. You have a variety of mic options: cardioid, valve, condenser, ribbon, and then some room mics as well. You can have control of the dynamics by simply enabling the CC mapped velocity radio button here, but I'm going to leave it simply on playing velocity for now. And we're going to start off with the full hard sticks, and we're going to listen to each of the mics in turn. So we'll start with the valves. That's the thing that loads up. So here we go. So you can hear there it's very dynamic. And you've got a super wide range. Let's switch between the mics and have a listen to the different options. So here are the cardioids. So you can hear that's a slightly brighter sound than the valves. Here are the condensers. A slightly more directional sound, so you've got a slightly wider soundstage there. And for the softest sound, here are the ribbons. So you can hear that you've really got a very nice soft high end on those. And then to listen to the actual room that this recorded in. So you can hear there, although it's quite a dry soundstage, it's very lively still. And combining that room with one of the other mics, and if we switch the room off so you can hear the difference. So you can hear that it does give you a sense of depth as well, and obviously you can mix between the mics to blend the exact sound that you want. So let's leave it on the valve mic for now. We're going to switch to the main patch. Now the main patch has been specifically designed by Frank to use the most appropriate beta for the range that you're playing in and also for the dynamic that you're playing at. So if we just start playing, and you'll hear what I mean. You'll also hear there that you can trigger a roll on the very highest velocity so that you can play along with your other parts little bits of rolls in between. Just like that. So you'll hear that the main patch has a really great kind of character to it, and that's what you would hope to get if you were recording a real marimba player. Then you would get that kind of selection of beta according to the part that you actually write. So let's go through some of the other options. We've got rubber mallets. We've got the full range with the soft mallet. We've got our tremolo on its own, and this can be controlled by dynamics as well. So you've got control over the dynamic as you're holding a chord down. We've got our hot rods. We've got flammed hot rods. And then finally we have bowed. Which is a really useful articulation as well. So let's move on. Staying within the same family, we'll move on to the xylophone. Now you'll see that the layout of the UI is absolutely the same, very consistent. And again, with the spanner view, you've got some extra controls here. But let's go back to the simple view. Now we'll start with our performance patch. And then let's have a quick listen through the mics. So again, we'll go back to the valve and let's have a listen through the individual patches. These are our mediums. Here are our medium soft. Here are extra soft. Here are hot rods. Here are hard rolls, soft rolls, hot rod rolls, and finally some really useful glisses. So all kinds of different stuff in there. Let's move on to the crotales. So these are small bronze discs, almost like thick mini cymbals, arranged in a piano keyboard style layout to play chromatically. They're one of the brightest percussion instruments, tuned percussion instruments, and like the piccolo, will cut through even the biggest orchestral arrangement. So have a quick listen. I'll just start playing. So very beautiful sound. These are with our metal mallets. Let's have a quick listen to the mics. And there's such a lot of high frequency content in this sound that you will hear a really significant difference. There's a very different colour to the sound in the way that the high harmonics are represented. So let's go back to the valve and let's have a listen to the different beaters. Here are the felt beaters. Here are the short metals, so these are muted. We've got our plastic beaters. And short plastics. Metal rolls. Plastic rolls. Rubber rolls. And then finally, just stop those, we've got the bowed articulation. So really interesting and kind of spooky sound there. Just turn those off. Okay, so moving on, let us look at the Glock, final of the four. The Glock consists of a series of tuned metal keys and is named after the German for bell. You'll hear it on all kinds of recordings, from lullabies to Radiohead singles, spooky horror films featuring children, manic clowns, fairy tales. It's kind of redolent of everything from the toy box to darkness in a horror movie theatre. So you're listening to the main hard with the valve. Let's stick with the hard because we get all those nice high harmonics, and let's listen to the different mics. So you can hear a really clear difference between these. So it's a very good way to get a different color, a different character into the sound. Almost sounds like a different instrument when you switch between the mics. And this shows you the importance of having a really nice collection of mic options on a sample library like this. So let's go back to the valve and let's switch between our different mallet selections. So we start with our extra soft beaters. Very, very soft, but a really useful sound. Let's flick through to the mediums. Medium soft. Soft. And then we've got some rolls. Hard mallet rolls. Soft rolls. We've got some shorts. Medium soft. And then we've got some tremolos. We've got our soft trems. And obviously these are, when I say tremolo, I mean, as opposed to tremolando, I mean like an amplitude trem, physically performed on the instrument. Very cool. And then we've got our wide selection of glisses again. So there's a ton of very useful stuff in there. Now, if we go back to the xylophone, and I'll very briefly show you the ostinatum. This is incredibly useful for this kind of thing. So you put in a selection of notes. You select which key of the chord that you hold down will be picked. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In fact, and I'm going to put 2 more on the end and make those 2, 3. We're going to raise the velocity slightly of the 1s and maybe drop a couple of the 3s a little bit. Okay, and then we've got a couple of different modes here. We've got the key, the order that you press the keys, ascending we're going to pick, and we've also got chord mode. So if I just go to, just so that our sound is consistent, I'm going to go to the hard and have a listen to this. So you can hear I'm holding down C, D, E flat, and I'm getting that pattern. What I can also do is hold down chord mode. And you get the chord being played. But you can also go to the order that you press the keys, and you get this. So I press C first, then G, then E flat, and that gives you a different order as well. So this is a hugely flexible little kind of rhythm sequencer that you've got within the actual patches themselves. Very, very usable. So that's an overview of the Ricotti Mallets library. In the individual folder, you've obviously got all of the individual patches broken out like that as per usual. But there's 4 really great, very deeply sampled instruments here that should keep you going for a long time. And we hope you enjoy using them. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.